Case file: The Sleep Incident, 1891. Sleeping Beauty never woke up. In the spring of 1891, a strange phenomenon began appearing in several parts of Europe. At first, no one connected the incidents. Each case happened in different towns, in different families, and under different circumstances. But when the police records were later reviewed, investigators noticed something unusual. Children, and sometimes young girls, were suddenly falling asleep, without warning, and without explanation. This was not ordinary sleep. Doctors could not wake them. Their hearts were beating. They were breathing normally, but their consciousness was completely gone. Some woke up after a few hours, some after several days, but others never woke up at all. The incidents were quietly recorded under a temporary medical term, the endless sleep. But years later, researchers studying the archive reports noticed something strange. Another name had begun appearing in private notes, a name taken from an old fairy tale, Sleeping Beauty. But in this story, no prince ever arrived to wake her. The first file. The first documented case appeared in March 1891. Location: a small village near Strasbourg. Patient: Elise, 16. According to her family, Elise seemed completely normal that evening. She ate dinner, spent some time reading, then went to bed. Around 9 p.m. the next morning, her mother tried to wake her. Elise was still lying in bed, but she did not respond. At first, her mother assumed she was in a deep sleep. She shook her shoulder, called her name several times. There was no reaction. A doctor was called immediately. After examining her, he wrote a short note in the report. The patient is not in a coma. However, all signs of conscious response are absent. But the doctor noticed something else. On Elise's right hand, there was a small puncture mark. The family had no explanation for it. 3 days later, Elise suddenly woke up. She slowly opened her eyes. The doctor asked if she remembered anything. Elise whispered a sentence. "They didn't want me to sleep." The doctor asked who. Elise answered quietly. "The fairies." Similar incidents. After Elise's case, similar reports began appearing across several European cities. June 1891. Vienna. A young girl remained asleep for 3 days. July 1891. Prague. A child did not wake for 2 weeks. September 1891. Munich. Another girl woke up, repeating the same phrase over and over. Sleep is not safe. An investigator later compiled a list of similarities shared by all the cases. Every patient appeared completely normal before sleeping, had a small needle-like puncture mark, reported vivid dreams while unconscious, developed a fear of sleeping after waking up. and several of them said something identical. I must not fall asleep again. The dreams. When the patients eventually woke up, doctors asked them to describe what they experienced. The answers were disturbing. Many described the same place, a large hall, silent, empty. In the center of the room stood a long table. At the end of the table sat a woman. She wore a pale dress. She never spoke, but everyone in the room seemed to understand what she wanted. Sleep. One patient described the scene in detail. There were hundreds of people there, all of them sleeping. None of them could wake up. Another patient said something even stranger. The woman was counting us. The doctor recorded this in the official report. The patient believes individuals inside the dream were being selected or recorded. The most consistent detail among the cases was the puncture mark. The mark appeared in different places, on the finger, on the wrist, sometimes on the neck. Doctors initially assumed insect bites, but laboratory examination suggested something else. The marks were clean and precise, almost identical, as if a needle had been used. Yet none of the patients remembered being injured. At that point, one researcher remembered an old fairy tale, a princess, a needle, and 100 years of sleep. After that discovery, the name began circulating among investigators. Sleeping Beauty. The fairies. Several patients mentioned the same presence inside their dreams. Fairies. But they did not describe them as small or harmless. Their descriptions were far darker. One patient explained it like this: they are not small. They are not light. They are shadows. Another said, they move around the sleepers. Most doctors dismissed these statements as dream hallucinations, but one detail appeared repeatedly. The patients always used the same phrase: they are waiting. One doctor wrote a private note beside this statement. Perhaps they are waiting for us not to wake up. The forest theory. Researchers noticed another pattern. Most cases occurred in towns located near old forests. In those regions, a much older version of the Sleeping Beauty legend existed. But that version was different from the fairy tale. In that story, the princess never woke up, because the sleep was not a curse. It was a prison, and she was not alone inside it. Others slept with her, people who had fallen into the same endless sleep. Some of them never returned. Those who never woke. Between 1891 and 1894, official records connected 17 individuals to these incidents, but not all of them recovered. 6 patients remained permanently asleep. Doctors classified them as long-term coma cases, but several nurses reported something unsettling. The sleeping patients sometimes smiled. Sometimes their lips moved, as if they were speaking to someone. One nurse wrote in a private journal, "They do not look alone. The final file. The last major case was recorded in 1894. Patient, Clara Hoffman. Age, 15. Clara remained asleep for nearly 3 weeks. Doctors believed she would never wake. But one morning, she suddenly opened her eyes. The doctor immediately began questioning her. Clara appeared calm, but her first answer made the room fall silent. "There is a city there." The doctor asked where. Clara replied, "The city of sleepers." She then added something else. "There is a tower." The doctor asked what was inside the tower. Clara remained silent for several seconds. Then she whispered, "The princess." The doctor suggested it was only a dream. Clara slowly shook her head. "No." Then she said something even more disturbing. "We must not wake her." Conclusion. Today, the story of Sleeping Beauty is remembered as a simple fairy tale, a princess, and a prince who saves her. But some archived reports suggest another possibility. Perhaps the princess never woke up. Perhaps the sleep was never meant to end. And perhaps the needle was never the beginning of the story, but the doorway. Because in some old European villages, parents still tell their children one simple thing before bed: do not touch sharp things, because some needles are not meant to draw blood. Some of them send you somewhere else. And once you arrive there, no one can wake you.